Hello, everyone. Welcome to Leadership Wednesdays. I hope that these leadership lessons are getting to you, they're blessing you. Today, we are looking at flexibility, leadership flexibility. All things rise and fall on leadership. Everything you will ever do in life rises and falls on leadership. Nations succeed and they fall based on the leaders that they have. Countries, companies, homes, marriages, everything rises and falls on leadership, meaning that leadership is so critical and so important for us to understand, and that is the aim of Leadership Wednesday. So today let us look at leadership flexibility. Now, as a leader, one of the things that you know and you have always known is that business doesn't go always as planned. There are things that happen along the way. You can have a clear plan of what you want to do. You can have everything. You can even write it down. You can plan it out. But in truth, business doesn't always go as planned. Things don't always come out as we have planned them. And therefore, you need to be flexible when you are required to be flexible. One of the lessons, or the most important lesson you can learn in life and in leadership, is to be flexible and adaptable. There's what we call adaptive leadership. But adaptive leadership focuses both on the leader and the follower. Okay. Now, whether it's a campaign launch that starts differently than anticipated, whether it's a training that you are doing, whether it is an event that you are holding, learn to be flexible within the confines and the timelines. So there are several things that I want to share with you that can help you to become a leader who can be flexible, or leadership flexibility. Number one is you always have to be curious as a leader. Have the curiosity. Always think about what can go wrong and how and what could go right. Always think about how you can fix something that is wrong. Let's say, for example, if you're planning to have an event and there are things and everything is okay, every plan is working well, you have to think about what if it went wrong. What do we do? What is our plan B, plan C, plan D? So number two is create multiple plans. As I'm saying, create plan A, create plan B, create plan C, create all the way as far as you can. Have multiple plans. It's important to have a primary plan. And as much as that is important, you also need to know what to do if things did not go as you plan. Number three, the thing that you have to know is that you need to understand your reaction to change. How do you react when things are getting changed? For example, let's say you had agreed to start something at a particular time, but then there is no room and it has become impossible for you to be able to start that thing. So how do you adapt to the changes of that? How do you adapt to changes that come to your organization? Now, one of the things that I've noticed is that many people are not very open to change. And this also happens to affect many of us leaders. We don't want to change. We want things to be as they have always been, and we want to push things to remain as they are. So, as a leader, you've got to understand that it is your job to be flexible. And it is also your job to train your team to be flexible. That is what we call adaptive leadership, where you train your team, you help your team to adapt to the circumstances. Now, for you to help your team to adapt to the circumstances or to change, you must first change. You must first adapt and then make people fit into the new systems, into the new structures, into the new jobs, into the whatever it is. You help your team to adopt or to adapt to the situation, okay? You need to be aware of your options. Anything and every situation has options. Be willing to act flexibly and have a competence in flexibility, that you're able to be flexible so fast and without any more, you don't lose time. You don't lose any moment trying to think whether to be flexible or not. If things change, you change with them. If things go back to the way they are, you go back to the way and you change with them. You go back to that. Leadership, flexibility. Many times we do not succeed because our leaders are unable to be flexible. Many times we fail to achieve our goals because the leader was too rigid to try and be flexible. So as a leader, embrace this lesson, learn it, begin to practice it, and begin to be flexible when the circumstances demand that you be flexible. All things rise and fall on leadership. Thank you, and God bless you.